Yo, how to become that band that any label wants to sign you? That has been the question, the major question that has revolved my mind all over the last 18 years that I've been in the music industry with my band Cryzix, and I released many albums with many labels, and I've been touring all over the world, and I was always thinking, how can I improve? How can I get better? How can I be that band that major labels, big festivals, promoters, all of them, they want to work with you? And since my experience over the last 18 years, and also in the last year, I've been also in conventions and been in touch with with promoters, with labels, and also, of course, with bands, and also working with bands. So I refine more and I focus more on how to answer this question. And that's why I wanted to make this video that I don't know how long it will take me, but I will depict here what are the things that you should have in mind as a band if you want to be more attractive to the market, to the industry, and to get better and better and better. And by the way, if you don't know me, this is Bibi from the metal band Cryzix. As I said before, I have my own school, Extreme Metal Business, where I work with bands, basically turning these bands into a thing that is more attractive to them for the market and leveling up them and developing the bands. And also here you have the artist survival kit for free, which I'm going to show you. Because in this video I don't have too much time, but I will show you the major label strategy that they use to run their campaigns on Spotify. So if you're planning your next Spotify campaign, this artist survival kit is going to be very helpful for you. It's in the link in the description of this video, the first one. You just enter your mail and it will send you all the guides step by step so you can follow and make your next release more visible, okay? But first of all, this step, the strategies and everything, it's a different step that now I want you to put attention into what is the game here, okay? And as I tell to my students and to all the people I work with, after all these 18 years, what I can tell you, there is these three big steps in the development of a band that any INR is the guy in the label who is ready to sign a new band, or any good manager will think about. There is these three steps that are very important as a band that you have to also understand to develop correctly and get better and better. The first step, and I want to see it with this analogy, okay? I want that you think about this like a metaphor, as like planting a tree, okay? Let's say that the result, the final result, the final vision that you have right now to be signed with a label, to be touring with the world, to be, your merch store, having a lot of sales worldwide and having fans everywhere. Let's say that this is the final result of let's say a orange tree, okay? And this is the final result of you having an orange tree that is producing so tasty and beautiful fruity fruits. This is orange. And people is exchanging those orange for money, for attention, for labels, for label deals, or for offers in in festival offers. Okay, this is your your orange tree, and it's beautiful with full of oranges and everything. But to become that orange tree that everybody wants to work with you, that you have to hire people so they help you harvest the fruit and all these things, which would be the management agencies and everything. You have to do a very good step before having that, okay? And I don't know if you have a garden, but if you ever tried, you need to have a process to become that tree, to have that tree in your garden, okay? And I want you to understand this process as a three-step process. The first one, which is the most important one and the one that most of artists, they don't pay attention, is selecting the correct seat, okay? The first, I'm going to show you here a green pic depicting a correct seat for your next orange tree, okay? And selecting the correct seat, it's not just thinking, okay, I like this kind of music and I'm going to just write a riff about this and going to put out there and let's see what happens, I want you to understand how important is this, because if you don't put importance in selecting the correct seat, you will be wondering in the end of the process why your music is not being heard by the correct people, why you're not, the doors are not opening to you, why are you not taking seriously in the industry, why people is not, having a clear image on what you're doing. I want you to think about how important is this, because for me, for my band Cryzix also, we struggled with this, not choosing the correct seat for us. and it's about the musical identity and also the where you want to position, your artistic proposal in the market. Having all these things very, very clear, not very clear, made us be in a moment where we were one person, we were one idea of ourselves, but the people we were attracting, it was not vibing with that idea of us and how we were exposing ourselves, how we were promoting ourselves. It was not, there was interferences all the time. So these interferences, it's what made that we didn't get to the correct people or to the people that we wanted to reach, So I want you to understand how important is this first process, okay? Because it's the one that I know by my experience and also working with other bands that they don't put attention into selecting the seat, Also, this reminds me to my colleague Uri from the band. His former band was Illusion, just so we understand a little bit more this process, And he was a person who was very into prog, but he also liked thrash. But he was promoting himself like a regular thrash metal band. But then people, when they saw his proposal, it was not a regular thrash metal band. It was a band that was offering way more things, different things, that they were not correct things for the regular thrash metal fan. That's why having these inner interferences made this outer outcome of people not getting 100% what you want to do with your band and what you are, And because sometimes we are rooted to this self-identity of, okay, I like this thrash metal style and I'm, I vibe with this, but I don't expose my inner personality in this, or I don't expose my inner artistic view here. People don't get it, and people start feeling these interferences, So I want you to understand that this is the part of selecting the correct seat, and when you're choosing the seat, it's about where you want to place this in the market. What is the music what is the scene that you want to break in? What is the niche that you're going? And where you want to put out the next release, what is the perception of the market for your next release? That's selecting the seat. And of course, the seat has to be aligned with your musical identity, your artistic proposal that you're feeling deep inside of you, and you have to imprint all this with the seat. Because when the seat is correct, and you know where you are heading, you have a clear vision on where you want to go with this music proposal, this will give you much more clarity on how to build that into songs, into musical ideas, into musical videos, which is the step number 2, which is from this seed has to grow the tree. So from this tree, you will see that it's going to be an easier process to start shaping the songs, shaping the ideas, shaping the videos, shaping the reels, shaping the promotion, shaping the interviews, shaping the message, the lyrics. What are you going to tell in the songs? What are you going to tell in the speeches in between songs in the shows? What is the show at Rezzo? Everything, all this comes because when the seat is clear, crystal clear, and the clear direction, it's when all this process is so easy. And I see that this process sometimes is so hard for many bands because the seat is not clear. And because the seat is not clear, everyone in the band is like, okay, I have this vision, the other one has another vision, the other one has this idea, and anything matches because everyone is not seeing a final picture on where this seat you want this seat to take you, So that's why developing a correct musical proposal, your next album cycle, I would spend much more time selecting the seat between the band, or between the creators, the music creators, chiefs of the band. If you're a democracy, it's going to be everyone. If it's one or two of your band, I would go this one or two doing under this process, because the more time you spend on this, the less time you will have to spend wondering, okay, what is the video what do we have to do here? What is the artwork? What are the colors? What are the message? What do we say here? What is this? Because you can... this process, if you don't do it correctly, you can end up just doing things that, okay, it sounds cool, that's good. This title sounds cool. This tour poster name sounds cool, like this, or this song's title sounds cool, like this. But when the seat is correct, you know that everything has to have a meaning according to the seat. It has to be aligned with the seat, and that's when you start to make something much more powerful. So Step number 2, you have this tree that you have these songs. You are building this cathedral. You are building this tree that has now songs, and you're seeing all these things. And then in this step number 2, it's very important, as I said before in the artist survival kit, is how you strategically promote these songs into the world with all these Spotify strategies, the correct reels, the correct meta ads promotion. So you bring the qualified potential fans into your music proposal, and they buy. There is a match. There is no interferences, and because there is a match, there is no resistance, and people can actually see where you're heading. They can see very easily the vision of the band or the vision of this musical project. They buy, and there is a connection, instant connection. And that's when you start getting this fan base of new potential fans. You nurture them, and you give them more music, more live shows, more content, and more whatever, and you make them part of your little musical universe. That then you head to the step number 3. Step number 3, which is harvesting the fruit. And that's why harvesting the fruit is the moment that if an INR has a good eye, or a main management has a good eye, or a festival has a good eye, they will not need that you have big numbers, or that you have like a crazy tour all over the world, or they will not need to know that, because the way how your fans that you're already building are taking your fruits, exchanging the money for your oranges, with this level of fandom that you're creating there, even if it's on a minor scale, they know that you're doing a great job. And they know that if they use their resources to expand this process so you can make more trees like that, they know that they will harvest a lot of fruit. And that's why people will know that you are an attractive band, so they will offer you a contract with their management, or with their labels, or with their whatever. The problem is when you didn't do these first 2 steps correctly, and you think, and this is a common misbelief in the scene, that you think that you had success because of that person in the 3rd step, when you want to harvest the fruit. Because they signed with this label or this management, that's why now they are selling a lot of oranges. But the thing here is that you will not be able to sell any orange if you don't do the first and the second step correctly, which is choosing the correct seed and making it grow into songs and promoting correctly and making this first buzz on your own. If you don't know how to achieve that, it can come from whoever agency, whoever the booker of AC/DC. I met him the other day in this music convention, and he was telling me the same. The most important thing as an artist, the booker of Gojira, AC/DC, and from France, one of the biggest ones in France, he was telling me the same. The most important for him when he wants to choose working with a band, it's the music. It's the music. It's not the numbers. It's not the of course, everything helps, but they know how to detect when there is potential in the music. But it's not only the music alone, because today everyone can write a cool album from their home and without being a cool band, you can write cool music. You just have to be a good musician. So in the moment that you prove that you know how to write good music, but also you know how to transfer this into cool songs that impact into people in the step number 2, in the visibility part, where you know how to build this fandom, this fan base, that's when people start hearing this noise. These people from like this Gerard Duat, I don't remember his name, but he's in that moment when he's perceiving this noise and this talent, that he says, okay, this band is interesting, I'm going to work with them, because I know that if they achieve to do with this one orange tree this level of noise and people demanding, their oranges, they know that if they help this band build more orange trees, it's going to be a good business for everyone, for them and for the agency. I hope that with this picture of these 3 steps, you understood at least how important it is to develop yourself as a band. This is what I'm into. I've been obsessed the last years, especially for my band Crysis, how to develop artistically a band, not just producing the music correctly, making a better sound and whatever, but how to develop the process, the artist, the proposal, in a way that it gets more attention and be more attracted. How important is this process? Because when we miss to do this first step, that's when the next steps, you can invest thousands and thousands of euros in promotion and meta ads and whatever, but if the seed is not correct, you will not catch attention on the booker from Gojira and AC/DC. Do you understand this? I hope that you understand, and this is why I've been obsessed all my life, because not all my life, but the last years, because I was wondering, as probably you, what it takes to be a band that is signed with these labels, with these promoters, working in this level, and it's these 3 steps process that it's so important, guys, that you start paying attention. And I want to help you guys develop this, because I enjoy it so much. I realized that this is my passion. After I did my school extreme metal picking for metal guitarists that had bands, I realized how much I enjoyed to help those guys develop their bands, And that's what I try to do also in my socials and also in my school. And that's why every month I try to help at least 5 musicians from 5 bands that have musical projects, and then they are a little bit lost in this process, as I was many years ago. And I try, because everyone has his own goal, his own view, his own unique proposal, that it's cool, but sometimes we're afraid to show this, or we think that we have to copy other bands or emulate this or emulate that. And I want you to understand how important it is that you tap into your uniqueness, your weirdness, your unique view on music, even if it's differentiating you a lot from Metallica, from Pantera, from Sleep Token, from Falling in Reverse, whatever, It's your unique style. It's like your unique fingerprint. And it's important that you put attention into that. That's why I enjoy a lot helping musicians doing that. Even that right now my calendar is super full. But if you're preparing your musical project, don't be late. Don't wait until it's the release date and then message me like, hey, Bibi, you help me get better impact. No, the process is in these 3 steps process. And if you come late doing the process, don't complain if you don't sell oranges, from your orange tree. So don't complain if people is not listening to your music or you don't have the impact that you wanted. That's why in this first step everything is important. And if you want me to help you, to guide you with this, with the strategy, with the promotion, the plan, whatever, you have a link in the description here where you can book a free strategic call that I think it's so important in my point of view, from my band and what I did. It's one of the most important things that we did before we released an album. And I hope that you you take it seriously as well and book a session with me. Check the calendar, check a free spot in the calendar, and I'll see you and I will help you. I will check what's your situation and give you the best of the best I can with my knowledge, okay? Thank you for being in this masterclass. I hope that you understood a little bit the process of everything, how it goes, and now you have a bigger picture and a more elevated picture to develop your band correctly. You can follow me as well at Plaza, of course, in my Instagram, if you want to follow me for more tips and stuff that I constantly post daily. And I'll see you here in the next video, in the session, or in the school. Cheers.